We see Naruto open his eyes as as he looked around in confusion because this wasn't his room. He remembered yesterday he went to sleep because he apparently did feel pretty tired, but not again. He wasn't that tired. He just felt pretty tired, so he went to sleep. And that was the last thing he remembered. But right now, he doesn't remember ever going into this kind of dark facility. He looked around and he was trying to think what was wrong here. He looked around as he felt something. Huh? He saw under him and now it was frozen. Not in shock, not in fear. He was stunned a bit. He looked down as he was sitting in a mountain of body. He was literally sitting on the top, and let's say he also saw another presence there. Now the presence was Danzo Shimura, yes, one of the elders of the village. Now to have seen this man many times in the council chamber, so he looked at the man as the man was looking at him like he was some sort of a monster. As the man was shaking in fear as Danzo said, Ninetail, leave me. I told you that if you let me live, I will make so that the village won't bother you anymore. As the Danzo was trying to bullshit his way out of the situation right now, but for Naruto just looked at Danzo for a while, but he felt, let's say, nothing really. He felt nothing just looking at Danzo's appearance. He felt nothing. Naruto literally wanted to kill Danzo right now. Why? You see, when he was little, he still remember when he was little. Danzo was one of those people, yes. Danzo may not have come there personally to beat Naruto up, but he remembers something, one of the few civilians saying that Danzo-sama stated that may make the demons suffer by increasing the price or something like that. Yes, he overheard few of the ambus, or let's say. He looked toward Danzo's shaggy old appearance as he looked at Danzo head to toe. He was covered in blood. His right hand was missing. His eyes were one of his eyes was also missing as well. Naruto thought, it might be my Keke Genko, the special tentacle that I have in my shadows. As he was thinking, what do I do with the body? As he was mumbling this, suddenly a shadow opened around the whole mountain of body, as the mountain of body was devoured inside the shadow. Naruto found himself just standing in his shadow like nothing happened. Danzo looked more terrified than anything right now. He was just literally shaking. Naruto could see that Danzo apparently... Damn, he pissed himself off. Naruto laughed a bit just seeing the scene. Naruto thought, should I keep you alive or not? He was thinking about that matter. Then, at that moment, let's say, in the underground facility was burst open. And, damn, the underground facility was burst open as there was a big explosion behind Danzo. And after the smoke cleared, Naruto saw the old man Hokage and few of the ambus. They were all let's say surrounding them. Naruto just said, "Old man Hokage, I found myself awake in here. I really don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened, old man Hokage." As third Hokage, who isn't Sarutobi, let's say, just sighed and he looked at Danzo's pitiful appearance as he stated, "Danzo, my old friend, I have told you many times, do not try to do anything to the Jinchuriki. We need the Jinchuriki because the Nine-Tails especially, how they use their power is through emotions, and if you ban those emotions, how will we get to the perfect Jinchuriki?" Danzo just stayed quiet. He did not literally say anything, as Naruto looked pretty hurt because This old man, or as the old man he called Gigi, apparently also think of him as a weapon. Now to look pretty hurt, but as Hiruzen noticed this, as Hiruzen stated, but again, Danzo, I have forgiven you many times just saying that. But today you have crossed the line, my old friend. I literally cannot let you go today. I have tried to protect you many times, but right now you are all out of mercy, Danzo. He states as he ordered Kakashi. Yes, Kakashi was behind Hiruzen as he ordered Kakashi kill Danzo Kakashi. Leave no trace of him. As Danzo looked toward Hiruzen, his old friend, as he stated, "Are you really gonna do that to me, Hiruzen? You you know what we planned together, and you're gonna throw that all away." As Dan Hiruzen stated, old friend, I always had a problem with you, and I. Tobirama Sensei chose me as his successor. Why? He saw how intelligent I was, how I possessed the will of fire. But he did not choose you because your whole heart was plunged around the darkness. You wanted to be Hokage that badly. And today he tried to kidnap Naruto, and the Nine-Tail went berserk. Naruto was visibly confused. Because if the Nine-Tail went berserk, he would at least feel something, but he did not feel anything really. He did not even feel shit. As Kakashi killed Danzo. As who we see Hiruzen Sarutobi slowly approach Naruto as he took Naruto as he embraced Naruto in a hug, as he states, there Naruto, everything's gonna be okay. Naruto, let's say, just nodded. See, he said nothing. There was no change of emotion. Hiruzen noticed this as he stated, my boy, tell me what happened. Naruto explained that he just found himself awakened here in a mountain of body, and let's say something happened. He told Hiruzen about this special Kekigenkai, or a special thing. As Hiruzen was pretty intrigued and said, Naruto, could you show me now? Naruto nodded as he, let's say, summoned few tentacles out of his shadow. Now those tentacles, Hiruzen observed all the tentacles that Naruto summons from his shadows. And those tentacles, where some of the tentacles had eyes, those eyes looked pretty ominous or pretty terrifying to Hiruzen, as Hiruzen thought, is this the Nine-Tail's ability? But the Nine-Tail is a the Nine-Tail is a fox, and these are not fox eyes, they are all octopus's eye. I could have concluded the matter if he had the 8 tail, but this, what kind of Kekigenkai is this? Did Minato had this? He was thinking. As Hiruzen decided he ain't gonna question that matter he's gonna question that matter later. As he took Naruto out of the underground facility, and let's say he gave Naruto a few days off. In those let's say Naruto got a week off from missions, as Kakashi also stated he need to sort his thoughts out right now. Naruto nodded as he agreed to it at matter, as yes, he was a bit confused, but he also needed some time to learn a few spells. As he wanted to learn from the book of light and darkness. So he took out the book from his shadow. Yes, he has the ability, apparently his shadows have the ability to apparently store things from him. It's like a inventory to Naruto, a walk-in closet that he can open anytime he wants. He also put his money there, so it's a very convenient thing. As we see, Naruto was pretty reading the book, as he did not notice the few presence was watching him. As we see, those presence was none other than those presence that was watching Naruto was none other than a girl with a girl with blue hair and lavender eyes. Yes, it was Hinata. Naruto did not notice it because he was pretty immense in reading. He did not see anything around there. As Hinata looked toward Naruto as she was dreamily looking at him as there was some blood coming out of her nose. She was giggling pervertedly. Naruto felt a shiver go down his spine for some reason, but he shrugged that off. He just looked around the room for a while as if said, "Why do I feel like I'm being watched?" As he went to his reading because he thought it was fucking nothing. Now, in that week that he was in his house, yes, he was in house arrest for different reason. In that week that he was in the house, he learned few different things about himself. Apparently, he can create something out of the shadow. Like he called them the soul eater or the soul washer or something similar to that. It looked pretty disgusting to Naruto, but again, they have their own uses. This thing can apparently get inside a person's soul and can be manipulated through it. Whoever has this thing inside their soul is gonna literally listen to the person who created it. Now that person being Naruto. Naruto looked at it as he felt creepy for a while, but he decided he's gonna test it out somehow. So he went out. He decided to go out today. As decided to go out, and he apparently was passing through a flower shop, and let's say Naruto's mind went. Let's say he was thinking about something. As he thought, oh yes, Ino should be at the flower shop, so I could try it on her. I mean, she did not look that bad. I mean, she has a great figure and all. She even is blonde, so she might not reject me like Sakura does. So let's see. As he went inside the flower shop, as the counter we see Ino was apparently reading some kind of girly magazine. He really did not care. As Ino heard the bell ring as she looked toward the door where the entrance of the flower shop was, as it was Naruto. Naruto's new appearance was still something new to the Konoha Genins. So, looked at the person who suddenly came, as the person had very shoulder length blonde hair and he has a bit yellowish eye. Ino looked at the person for a while, then the person suddenly approached and said, "Hello Ino, how are you?" As Ino was confused and said, "Do I know you?" As the person stated, "It's me Naruto, did you forget?" Naruto? She was literally stunned right now. This was the new Naruto? She heard that Naruto went into a bit incident from her father, and she was thinking that he might have just fallen because he might have just done some few pranks and get into trouble, but this was unexpected. He even looked better than Sasuke. Yes, in her mind she just said, "Fuck Sasuke, he look even way fucking divine than Sasuke. Fuck that shit. Fuck that dog butt. Who cares? This thing is the real deal here." As Ino said, "So what brings you here to the Naruto-kun?" As Naruto just gave a simple smirk as said, Naruto-kun, so what happened to Sasuke-kun? Fuck him. She literally stated it. She shouted, okay. Oh, I'm looking for a nice flower. I have a simple hobby. Wanna take care of a flower that is very easy to maintain. You're a bit lazy, but but I guess it might be a bit expensive. Who cares? Show me the flower. Come with me. As we see, Ino was moving toward the back section of the shop. As they Naruto saw this was the right opportunity. He conjured the soul washer. He conjured the washer out of his shadows, and let's say the soul washer started to levitate, and let's say went inside Ino's back. It's like it was intangible. As Ino felt a shiver go down her spine. Let's say she shook a bit. As Ino looked behind her, as Naruto was there. As she said, "Did you do something?" As Naruto just shook his head and said, "No, I really did not do anything. You okay?" I guess I might be cool. Who knows? As she just, let's say, she shook her head and, let's say, started to go toward the back of the shop. At that moment, the soul washer started is doing his job. Eno had a Eno said, as Eno was talking about the flower, what name it was, before she could finish anything, Eno suddenly stopped as she was frozen in midair. Her eyes lost the shine like it always had. Her eyes had a very different hue in them, like a newfound something happened inside of her. She returned to normal as he looked toward Naruto, and, let's say, she hugged Naruto out of nowhere, and, let's say, Naruto, our boy was kinda stunned because this was apparently one of those close kind of interaction he never had with any girls, especially. Yes, he might have got beaten up by Sakura before, but this was totally new to him. Naruto slowly wrapped his arm around Ino as he stated, "You can let me go now, Ino." As Ino said, "As you wish, my lord." Now Ino saying "my lord" to him, it made Naruto, let's say, turn on a bit because the way she stated. As Naruto states, "Good, good. You see, I now act naturally around me. I might call you sometime around the near future, so don't worry." She nodded. "As you wish, my lord," as she was kneeling pretty much. Now Naruto said, "It might raise few suspicious, but remember to act like this when we are all alone. You got it?" "Yes." As we see Naruto disappear using shadow teleportation. Now this was the new thing he can discover. Shadow teleportation allows him to teleport anywhere that he has seen before, so he teleported himself into the Hokage monument, atop of the Hokage monument, as this was his favorite place. He went there via, let's say, via Shunshin, or some type of a teleportation. He thought, "This soul washer is pretty interesting," he thought. He looked at this shit, was sure this shit was disgusting, but it had its uses, so he wasn't questioning it. He thought, this is my chance. I mean, he always wanted to be Hokage because he wanted the people acknowledgement, and right now, even though this is not like an acknowledgement around itself, the soul washer, let's say, implants memory of the owner. Memories, the soul washer, let's say, mess around with the memories, and, let's say, it influenced the soul that it inhabited inside in. So he knows soul washer is a very powerful tool, a powerful tool of loyalty, and he likes it. Strangely, he was getting worried about his new demeanor because he felt like everything that was happening to him right now is not really who he was before. It's like a new personality started to come out. Now it was worried again, but also he was pretty curious about his new powers. So he decided he's gonna see what kind of path he goes around with. He knows the Hokage path isn't for him anymore because the Hokage is a very lower position for him. He will become something. So he will become something in the whole shinobi world, something like a god. Yes, this thought suddenly came to his mind, but again, he was also confused by his own thought process. He did not used to think like this. Why? What happened? He did not question it anymore because his head was hurting at few point. He decided, let's teleport to our apartment. He feels a bit tired because conjuring something out of his shadows isn't really something he's used to do. As he teleported inside his apartment the next day, his a week, let's say, break was off as the Team 7 mission went on. Now the Tazuna mission appeared. Naruto was waiting outside of waiting in front of the gates of Konoha with Tazuna, the bridge builder. As he was waiting for his two teammates, now Naruto apparently bought a few new attire for him. If you ask anyone, or if you look at him for a distance, you would say he's some kind of a noble of a different country. As Naruto was wearing this very thing you're seeing in the screen right now. It looked pretty expensive as hell. His clothes were pretty comfortable to move around. As Kakashi did not mind Naruto's attire because Naruto right now looked like Sensei, as let's say it made him feel a bit happy seeing Sensei's child grow into a very fine young man. He was happy that Sensei's child was happy right now. As for Sakura, let's say she was conflicted on something. She saw Naruto's height grow into a very Naruto apparently grow as fucking tall. Naruto literally was towering over her at this point. He was even towering above Sasuke. Let's say Sasuke felt some kind of his inferiority, or let's say his pride went on his way as he said, "Dope, just changing your attire doesn't mean you're strong. You get that?" Naruto really did not say anything to Sasuke because he felt that arguing with him is pretty much meaningless. So, as he decided to just ignore Sasuke's existence all around. Sasuke went on mad as let's say Sakura also broke out of his chance and said, "How dare you ignore Sasuke-kun?" as she tried to punch Naruto, but Naruto looked at her in a way that it literally scared the very core of Sakura. As Sakura just said, I'm sorry. As she literally, let's say, make a very big distance between herself and Naruto. Naruto was still glaring at her. Let's say she was literally she was shaken through her core. She was literally trying to make more and more distance distance between her and Naruto. Sasuke also felt chill go down his spines for some reason, but he ignored it because his pride was too high. As Kakashi feeling the tension in the team, he decided to break it and said, No, don't fight children. So how about this? Let's go, Tazuna-san." Tazuna did not say anything, he nodded. He felt that kid is creepy, he thought. He mumbled, but Naruto heard it and said, "That creepy kid is gonna protect you, Be a bit nice." Tazuna did not mumble anything, but in his mind he just said, "Fuck, he heard me." Now, as Kakashi asked Naruto, "Where is your backpack? You might need you might need a few excess clothes and your essential items." "Do not worry, Kakashi, since I have everything here with me," he states. "Where? Did you forget about something, Kakashi?" As Kakashi was literally confused for a while as he thought, "What?" Then he said, as he pointed toward his shadow, then Kakashi remembered, "Oh, I remember your Kekigenka. Oh, okay. Your Kekigenka have a storage function?" "Yes." "Interesting," as they decided to go out. Now, few hours passed as they were, let's say, approaching a jungle, and let's say, what the fuck is that? He now to look toward the puddle, as he thought, there hasn't even rained for a few days, and he thought there hasn't been rain for a few days, and he's pretty sure in the last 3 days let's say he still doesn't remember that what happened last night, but he still does not remember that incident before because the slaughter of Danzo's whole thing, he really does not remember anything. So he decided not to question this matter, but he was still keeping a close eyes on the puddle. As let's say the demon brother jumped out, and let's say they did the same thing with Kakashi, and let's say they killed him. It looked like they killed him, but Naruto was just literally looking at them with boredom. He thought, huh? Why the fuck is Kakashi playing with them right now? He could just finish them off right there. As Naruto got a bit angry as he decided to literally he literally went. The killing intent rose from Naruto as Naruto's eyes turned dark. His yellow eyes was gazing toward the demon brother. As the demon brother, they stopped in their track. They felt their whole being shook. No, not just that. It was hard. They were having hard time just breathing as they clutched their hearts pretty much because their heart was pounding as well. It looked like the heart's gonna explode at any moment as he stated, grasp heart. As the moment he said the word, a heart like thing appear in the air as now to grab into it. As now to crush the heart as one of the demon brothers fell down. As the other one just looked toward his twin and said, Bro! As he screamed, as he looked toward Naruto monster, as he tried to, let's say, lunge toward Naruto, but what Naruto did was unexpected to every people out there. As before, the demon brother could do anything toward Naruto. As the demon brother, as a tentacle literally come out of Naruto's shadow, and let's say it literally wrapped around the demon brothers, one of the let's say one of the demon brothers' whole torso, as let's say the demon brother, as the one of the brother who was alive was screaming, as he was screaming bloody murder. But at that moment, his whole body, it looked like it started to lose strength. Not just strength, it looked like the whole body was getting disintegrated, and it turned into matter or something similar. It would dissolve into air. Everyone was dead quiet. Kakashi in the sideline just looked at the power with amusement, and let's say was a bit intrigued as well. As Sasuke looked at Naruto's power with envy in his eyes, literally. As for Sakura, she was fucking terrified. She just said, yes, Naruto was fucking monster. My mother was right. As she in her mind, she was literally screaming that. As for Tazuna just said, damn, he thought, remind me not to piss that kid off. Not to piss that kid off anymore. As he thought to himself, he literally noted that he ain't gonna piss that kid off anymore. As Naruto said, nuisance is finished. Kakashi, you can come out. As Kakashi came out and congratulations Naruto, you apparently got your first 2 kill. Naruto just looked at Kakashi and said, it isn't the first, you should know. Oh yeah, it's maybe... Oh, that I remember that day, but you weren't alive, you weren't even conscious that time, but I guess it still does count. Naruto did not say anything as he looked toward Kakashi's direction. He was worrying because his general emotion, because he knew that he just killed 2 humans right in front of his eyes, but he did not feel anything. He just felt nuisance. It's like his hunger for killing wasn't satisfied or anything, something like that. He wasn't satisfied at all. He felt incomplete, like Naruto just had an annoyed look in his face as Kakashi thought, is something bothering you, Naruto? Naruto did not say anything and said, it's nothing, sensei, we should move. As Naruto started to move forward, as Kakashi looked at Naruto's back and thought, I don't know what's wrong with you, Naruto, but I hope you can solve this on your own. As they started moving, suddenly, Kakashi said, duck. Naruto did not duck, but Naruto did not hear Kakashi because he was literally walking in front of Kakashi. He did not hear what Kakashi said. He was lost in his thought. But at that moment, a giant blade was literally flown toward Naruto, but Naruto did not move from his spot. He was still lost in his thought as he was walking forward. As the blade came close toward Naruto, as the tentacles shot out from Naruto's shadow, as it grabbed onto the blade. Naruto then got out of his thought as he looked at the blade. Who threw the shit at me? He thought as he hold the blade in his hand as he stated, "Yo, Kakashi, where the hell are you?" As Kakashi said, "Oh, you caught it now. You caught it." And he said, "You caught it, Naruto. Congratulations, you're pretty strong." Naruto nodded as he said, "Who the fuck threw it?" As Zabuza said in Japan said, "You damn brat, give me back my sword." As Naruto looked towards Zabuza's general direction and said, "Your sword, huh?" Naruto said, "I guess time to show off a bit, shall we?" Naruto was releasing a bit of aura. And this aura, let's say, made Zabuza said he ain't playing with this kid anymore. As Naruto stated, normally I wouldn't have give you your sword back, and I feel this sword is pretty awesome in a way. So I decided I'm gonna keep the sword. He states, "What's the sword's name?" As before Zabuza could say anything, Zabuza lunged toward Naruto and said, "Give me back my sword, you fucking kid." As he lunged toward Naruto, but that moment, Naruto just let's say Naruto just said, "Blast away." Now something happens. Zabuza's whole body, or let's say the whole space around Zabuza's, got shook as Zabuza was thrown where he was before, as let's say the tree fall down. He crashed into the tree as the tree fall down as Zabuza just said, "Damn it, what the hell was that, kid? What kind of fucked up jutsu is that?" As Naruto said, "You don't need to know." As we see, Naruto made a little hand sign as he did, a tornado came out of where Naruto hand sign was. As the tornado literally rippled throughout the whole forest, and let's say it cut down Zabuza, not just cut down Zabuza, it tore Zabuza apart. And let's say before Zabuza could react to anything, his whole body was torn apart. Zabuza lay down. Zabuza's half of his corpse was missing. Another half was somewhere around the forest. As let's say Zabuza was dead. From the bushes, something suddenly came out as it lunged toward Naruto. But before Naruto could do anything, Naruto just merely glanced at that person who was trying to ambush him. But his mere glance scared the living hell out as Haku tried to use his symbol on his neck. Before he could touch Naruto, it just dissolved into nothingness. As Naruto touched Haku, the hunter nin by the neck, as he states, you're unlucky because if you did run right there, I would have gone out of my way. Sorry guys, fuck that shit. Again, we are gonna start again. Now, as Haku literally lunged toward Naruto, as Naruto held Haku by the neck and stated, if you would run, it would have been a lot of better. And I don't know what you are, but I would say you are a big fool. As Naruto was literally holding on to Haku's neck, as let's say everybody in the team was looking at Naruto's brutality. He literally defeated Zabuza, one of the S-rank missing nin from the Misty Village, as Naruto was holding onto another ninja, as Naruto really did not care anymore for this insignificant cannon folder. Yes, to Naruto they were like nothing but bugs, as the tentacle came out of Naruto's shadow as it wrapped around Haku. Haku felt her whole being getting sucked, as Haku's whole body turned into nothing but dust. As Naruto went towards Zabuza's half of Zabuza's corpse, as he cut the head down and let's say he took it inside of a scroll and stated, "I guess this might give me some money for your head at least." As he took the scroll into his, as he literally threw the scroll into his shadows, as the scroll disappeared, as everybody was stunned. Sakura doesn't know what to say. Sasuke was greeting his team in envy. Kakashi, he really does not have any word. He just said, "I guess we should continue on our mission." The others Not really anything. As Tazuna just said, I'm gonna treat that kid in sake and anything he could give. He would literally try to get his daughter to be with the kid. That bloodline is fucking awesome. Now we see. Now, as we see, they went into the bridge and the bridge building was happening. As the bridge building was happening, apparently Naruto decided to help Tazuna a bit, and the mission did turn into an A rank mission. Now for the Gato's crew, let's say Gato did pull up on Naruto, but let's say Naruto literally as boarded the shit out of them. He literally devoured their whole body. Every mercenary that Gato bring with him were all devoured by Naruto's shadow. Now the whole wave country literally worship Naruto as their god. Not just god, their hero pretty much. The bridge was named the Great Naruto Village. Naruto realized he did not feel anything at that. As we see Naruto return to the hidden leaf in 2 weeks, as he just felt bored. The missions were pretty easy. Not just the mission, the hunter nin that he faced, they were also pretty easy, or is just he become too strong. He doesn't know. He just hopes that it isn't really the case. He's less worried not because of other people. Now we see Naruto was pretty worried about himself. He was thinking that he's losing humanity slowly. He was regretting every action just picking that book up, but he does not know that it's not because of the book he has become inhuman. It's because what entity reside inside of him. He actually tried to communicate with the Nine-Tail, but let's say he really for some reason cannot get inside his mindscape. He tried hard and hard, but he really cannot do anything. So he decided to let that thought go away. As let's say Naruto was being stalked by a few kids right now. Naruto has a very soft positions for kid because he himself was a kid before, so he always sees him inside all of the kids he interact with. So as he was being he was being stalked by none other than the third Hokage's grandson, Konohamaru. Konohamaru was apparently stalking him. As our boy looked behind him as stated, you know Konohamaru-kun, you could get out now. As Konohamaru just let's say scratched behind his head and he stated, I guess Nissan is a very strong ninja. He can only detect us. As Naruto just sighed and said, what do you want? We want you to play ninja with us. As Naruto looked at them and said, you know I have something to do, right? Come on, big brother, play ninja with us. It's gonna be fun. As Naruto was trying to disline them, as someone came behind him, as it was Sakura. As Sakura said, you Naruto, it seems that you're still playing with children's game. As Naruto looked at her and stated, who fucking asked you that? As Sakura remembered what kind of monster Naruto was, as she just said, I'm sorry. As she literally hurriedly went away. Konohamaru stated, boss, who was that? Is that your girlfriend? Naruto just stated, as he stated, nah, that bitch can never be my girlfriend. Yeah, that's right. Nisama's girlfriend is gonna be the most beautiful woman out there. Who knows? Naruto just looked at Konohamaru and said, I gotta do some work. Go on, play with yourself. I'll play with you later, I guess. Yay, as they went away. Now, as they went away, Naruto looked behind them as he was still looking at them. He had a bitter smile on his face. I guess I'm not inhuman fully, he thought. He looked as he heard Konohamaru shout from distance as he just sighed and said, damn, that kid really reminded me of myself, damn again. As he disappeared from the place, as he saw Konohamaru being strangled by this puppy, weird The weird cat-like ninja. Ah, that ninja is from Sand Village, he thought. As now to just release his killing intent. Let's say this killing intent reach Kankuro's hand as we switch perspective to Kankuro. As Kankuro was literally holding the kid by his neck, as Tamari was saying, Let the damn kid go already. We are already in our enemy village, you know. I don't want to get us in trouble right now. As Kankuro said, we gotta teach the kid brat a lesson. What happened if he acts arrogantly around us? As Konohamaru was squeezing his neck pretty much as Konohamaru was losing air. At that moment, he felt a killing intent that it made even Gaara's killing intent pale comparison to that. As Kankuro released the kid and stated, I'm sorry. So, as we see, Gaara suddenly appeared there and said, I'm sorry for my teammates' behavior, as Gaara was literally bowing toward Naruto, as Naruto was looking at Gaara like he was some kind of insufficient creature. He states, as Naruto's voice was cracking between some kind of demonic voice, as it made Gaara's whole being shook, as Naruto stated, as his voice was, let's say, switching between demonic and human. As he stated, remember, next time if anything, something like this happens around this village, if I'm around you, your body is gonna return to your village. Got that? All of them nodded. Let's say Tamari, even herself, she was literally about to wet herself. As Gaara said, it won't happen again next time, we promise. As Naruto said, good. I hope you can keep that damn promise. As Naruto literally held Konohamaru in the head, as Naruto patted Konohamaru in the head, as Konohamaru, he was feeling, his neck was hurting as he was heavily breathing the air, as Konohamaru just felt good once again, as Naruto just said, I remember kid, I told you to be careful. Even though these scums were out of our village, you should be careful. If I was not here, you would have died right there. Konohamaru did not say anything as he just looked down in the ground. I'm sorry, big bro. It's okay, now go home. Hey Mogi, take your boss away from here. Yes, Nisama. As they took him away. Naruto looked at them and said, interesting, one tail. As the moment he said one tail, Gaara's eyes widened. As Naruto introduced himself. Naruto Uzumaki. As Naruto, let's say, took his hand forward as for a handshake. Gaara did not hold his hand, but let's say Gaara's hand was shaking in fear. The killing intent was still there as Shikaku inside Gaara was screaming, get away from that monster. Do not get close to him. As Shikaku inside was getting restless as Gaara hurriedly went away from there. Naruto looked at their disappearing figure as his eye lingered onto Tamari's butt for a while, as he thought, that's a nice ass. He just smirked. I will have fun playing with that, he thought, as he decided to stalk them a bit because he wanted to know which hotel they were staying in, as Naruto literally erased his presence from everyone around him. As he was invisible, as he was flying in the sky, following them. As he followed them down to their hotel, and let's say he heard a few interesting things, like they're planning on an invasion. As Naruto was thinking, should he inform the Hokage? Nah, it's too much fucking work. Why the fuck he's gonna inform the Hokage? Fuck that shit. He knew that Hokage is having a little distrust on him, so he decided not to play with that matter right now. Right now he has another matter to do. He wanted to deploy another soul washer inside Tamari. He wanted to have a tool, or let's say the soul washer is something that of a special thing that Naruto uses to manipulate girls. As he went inside Tamari's room, and let's say Tamari was about to scream, but she was frozen. She was frozen in shock, not by anything, as now to use a frozen spell on her. As Tamari's whole body turned ice cold. Naruto just said, "Damn, I just used some paralyze spell. As Naruto just, let's say, conjure, he literally created a soul washer from his shadow. As the soul washer went inside Tamari's soul. As Tamari's eyes lost the color like she was dead, but again, the color returned as it looked at Naruto with the eye of loyalty, the eye of worship, admiration, and everything. Naruto smiled as, let's say, he kissed Tamari's cheek and states, I'm gonna play with you later. Maybe in the preliminaries round. Who knows? But remember, you're mine. Act the same way as you did before. Yes, my lord. As now to disappear from there. He has another spy in the. He has a spy in the sand village. So it should go around as planned. Naruto just smirked and said, "I guess becoming god isn't easy, but I guess becoming someone very important is very easy." I guess this is here we're gonna stop for the second part.